Welcome to the 359. I'm Roger Chang.
I'm Alfred Ng.
Apple dropped a trio of new iPhones and a new Apple Watch in an event that, well, didn't have a lot of surprises. I mean, the iPhone XS, XS Max, and XR came just as rumored, and that Apple Watch Series 4 facelift was pretty much like the leaks showed. What stood out to me was the pricing across the board increased. It's now even more expensive to buy any of these iPhones. It starts at $750. Just 2 years ago, it started at $650. We're pretty close to that $2,000 price point.
I mean, I think they saw the success of the iPhone X, where basically it was kind of like in your face, told you we could make a lot of money with a $1,000 phone. And it's kind of like, let's just lean into that now. Let's just make everything more expensive, make more money. People are going to buy our stuff no matter what.
And keep in mind, the iPhone XS Max, that starts at $1,050, but goes all the way up to $1,500. So that $2,000 iPhone is actually pretty close the way we're going.
You know, it's kind of like, do you want to pay rent for this month, or do you want like a new phone? Like sometimes, you can just get a new phone instead. Like, what do you need a roof over your head for?
That's more rent than I pay.
All right, so, like, think about all the new features on the 10.
Your iPhone XS Max.
Oh, Max.
It'll keep you warm.
Yeah,
that's right.
You can be homeless for a month and have a really sweet phone. Like it's. There are amazing photos you can take with that camera in the back. Smart HDR.
And to me, the XR was the most interesting phone. It was at least different than the XS, which pretty much are just last year's 10, right? It's bigger than the XS, but also cheaper, which is kind of a weird paradigm because you always think bigger is more expensive, and this is not the case.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely attracted to the XR more than I am the other phones, mostly because they didn't announce an SE 2.
Yeah.
And it was just like my dreams of a smaller phone are now dead. So
I mean, let's get to that. There were a couple of things that they kind of quietly killed, right? The iPhone SE is no longer available. Mm-hmm. They also killed the Plus models of the old phones. It's really just the iPhone 7, iPhone 8. We thought maybe the Plus would stick around. And then no AirPower for a whole year. A year ago, they announced the AirPower wireless charging pad, and it's basically gone an entire year without mention.
Yeah, I think the idea was like, don't even think about it.
I think something really went wrong there because that product probably isn't going to show up.
Pay no attention to the missing AirPower in the room.
Attention to
Check
AirPower.
It out. Like, we've got 3 phones instead. And then like they talked about the HomePod for like maybe 2 seconds.
Yeah, I know. They're like, oh yeah, there's this thing. We've got some updates, but don't worry about it.
And they can sync with each other now. Forget about it.
And then lastly, there's the Apple Watch, right? What did you think of the Series 4, the new
I was pretty impressed by it. So I'm curious to see what the battery life will be like for the walkie-talkie and the phone mode, because I know that was a big criticism of the last iPhone, where it's basically like, the phone's cool, but like you're really only gonna get like 30 minutes of talk time. So they did.
Oh, the watch. You mean the watch? Yeah.
So they did talk about it with the watch, where it was basically like, oh, this has the same battery life as last year. You're still getting a full 18 hours and
my guess is they haven't solved that problem. If you're running off that LTE radio, that watch is not lasting long.
Yeah, and then they made it louder, which I think is kind of annoying because I hate it when people have speakers in public.
Yes.
But
I tend to actually mute mine.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So
you're a decent person that like doesn't just play music out loud for everyone to hear. So
so I mean, I thought the EKG support, the fall detection was kind of an interesting angle because it's I think for older folks it's actually kind of useful.
I'm curious how many false positives it's gonna have though.
Right.
Like, if I'm like, after a long night of drinking or something, and I just fall into bed and I forget to take my watch off.
Yeah.
It automatically calls.
It might call 911.
That is not going to be
Although
fun. Maybe
it uses, I guess, the heart rate monitor or the motion sensor. Like if you're moving your hand around within those 5 minutes.
But you can move your hand around after you've fallen too.
Well, I think the idea is if you fall and you're unconscious, right?
Yes, but you can still move your hand around.
That's true. We'll see how it works. They didn't actually have us check it out during the demo.
I'll gladly fall and see how it works.
Yeah, we'll definitely do a lot of fall tests here. Anyways, for more on all that Apple coverage, check us out on CNET. I'm Roger Chang.
I'm Alfred Ng.
Thanks for listening.
All right, thanks for bearing with us, folks. I know we're running late, but there's still a lot for us to kind of wrap our heads around after yesterday. Oh, wait, no, there's not. It's all my fault that we're running late today. Hey, let's go ahead and take some questions and comments. What was your takeaway from the keynote? Did anything actually blow your mind? I'm kind of with you guys, Roger and Alfred. The fall detection thing was probably the most notable, most admirable.
Well, the fact that it's
implementation.
got a EKG reader, electrocardiogram support, and that it got clearance from the FDA to be a medical device, that can change who gets access to this thing, right? Because imagine if an Apple Watch is covered by an insurance company. All of a sudden, it's a lot more appealing, right?
Yeah, I've seen like Fitbits being covered by some insurance companies. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it would be interesting if like people could get.
I've
Apple
talked to
Watches
analysts
that
who say, in terms beyond senior citizens, folks who work in warehouses, that fall detection thing could actually be useful as a preventative measure. So there's a lot of applications. I thought the Apple Watch was definitely more interesting than the phone announcements.
Yeah. Somebody made a really good point on Twitter that I saw was basically like, what if they sold the 10R and the watch together as like a bundle? Because that's like $1,000. That's like the price of a 10S. So yeah, could be interesting.
Could be interesting for sure.
I don't know. I would definitely. Would you rather have the 10S for the $1,000 or the 10R and the watch for $1,000?
Yeah, it'd have the bundle for sure.
Yeah.
But the problem is that what is it? $750 for the 10R. The watch starts at $400, so $1,150. That's a $150 discount. I don't know. That's actually not that unreasonable.
Yeah.
Apple, go for it. Do it.
Yeah,
Do
'cause
it.
They're listening to us.
They're not. They never listen.
All right, jumping into the chat, taking some questions and comments from. First and foremost, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Where to go? Oh, from Joseph. What do you guys think of Apple no longer including the headphone jack to the Lightning port right out of the box?
The dongle. Yeah, I figured.
R.I.P.
I mean, yeah, I'd be kind of annoyed, but I am annoyed by that.
Not surprised.
Those things are easy to lose. I'm not surprised. They gave us like, I guess, 3 generations of dongles? Was it 3?
I don't know.
6, 7, 8, or maybe 2. It's 2 years, I guess. Yeah, it's disappointing. I really wish they would have kept that little dongle in because it is useful, and there are times when you still need that thing. If you're in an airplane or something,
It's very frustrating that like you have to buy it separately now.
Yeah.
And let me look up how much that
I believe
costs.
it's $9.
That's not a bad price.
Yeah.
If that's the case. But I don't know how. All right. First of all, it is $9 and it has 1.5 stars on their website.
Oh yeah, well, probably because you could lose it super easily.
That just doesn't make any sense though. Where like, why would they? It's like $9. Like, how much?
Alfred, you're off mic.
Oh,
There you go.
it's like $9, and I don't know why they would get rid of it for something that's so essential and useful for so many people. I mean, I suppose they really are trying to get everybody to not use
It's all about
wired headphones.
It's all about
anymore.
the profits. They're trying to squeeze that profit out of you.
Yeah.
Those dongles, those costly dongles, they were just sucking up valuable dollar bills that Apple could have been posting.
That's what Apple does. Sean wants to know if you guys think that Apple may have missed a big opportunity by not creating an SE-size iPhone 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Do you know how many people there are out there with small hands? Okay.
It's an affliction.
Okay. This is BS. It's the iPhone BS that they don't have smaller.
I would say that the fact that they dropped the SE, and they consider now the XR to be their budget phone at $750, which is kind of crazy.
$750 is not a budget price.
I know.
Jerks.
That is my point, though. I think Apple's basically saying, hey, we've had so much success with the iPhone 10. Let's just lean into that. And for folks who just can't afford these phones, well, sorry, go to Android. It's proven, at least over the last year.
Or BlackBerry.
No.
Or Nokia.
I mean, I will say this though,
Yeah.
with these like higher price increases, I think that more people are going to be holding on to their like
Their phones a little bit longer.
yeah. In the same sense that like you wouldn't like just go out and buy another phone if it was like $1,000, but if like if a new phone was like 300 or 400, it's like much easier for you to make that like justification.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you're much more likely to just hold on to your stuff now. Like it's the same thing with cars. You
Right.
you don't like go out and buy a new car every year.
Yeah,
either.
ultimately they don't necessarily. I mean, they do care that you're buying iPhones continually, but if you stay on iPhone and you're using their services, that's still a win for Apple.
I thought the whole recycling thing was kind of interesting. Is that new? Am I that far out of the loop? What's the situation there?
No, in terms of the recycling, like they've shown off that robot arm that could sort of disassemble the parts and reuse them for the manufacture of future devices. What was new was, I believe, the fact that they've included, or they're using even more recycled parts in the iPhone, so it's greener. The idea is that you don't have to mine for certain precious materials that's necessary for these components. Some of them are rare, they're expensive, oftentimes they're in conflict areas, and so I think they're trying to get away from their dependence on that.
Apple should have a program where if you have all the recycled materials from like old iPhones and stuff, if you ship it into them, they could like make you a new phone at a discount from that.
Ooh.
They're not going to do that.
They'll never do that, no.
But you're recycling your stuff.
That's a really cool idea, actually. I imagine an Android startup would try something like that. I can't
do a terrible job at it.
And fail, yeah, probably. But Apple would never do that. It's a
like,
great idea, but how would Apple make its money? The sweet profits.
I mean, they probably still sell it to you at a much higher price, but like...
Oh, if they still charge you like $2,000 for it?
Yeah, but like you could at least get a discount. Like, I don't know.
No, you wouldn't get a discount with Apple. Apple doesn't do discounts.
Even if you send in your own parts.
Yeah, they don't care.
I gathered all the materials. Please
it's like you pay extra for feeling good about yourself for being green. That's the Apple Premium right there.
We didn't pay for any of these parts, but we're still going to charge you premium.
If you send me your old iPhone, I will take it apart and solder it together into a statue for you.
I would love to see that, actually.
It's like a commemoration. It's like when you have your pet cremated and you put it in a jar on the shelf. You can do that with your old iPhone now. I'll do that. I'll make it for you.
You can just be reasonable and sell your phone.
Or
get some money back. Get some money back. Don't junk it. That's actually really environmentally bad.
I mean, the first couple of phones I had were obliterated. There was no coming back for them, so I had them destroyed.
Were they all like rage obliterated?
Yes.
Good.
Why am I surprised? Not surprised.
All right, more questions. We've got a couple minutes left. James Cook, is it true that the new iPhone will take advantage of T-Mobile's faster speed?
Yes, I believe so. I don't think they talked about it during the presentation.
Call up your buddy John.
I will. It's actually it's Neville Ray, their CTO. He would know. John actually doesn't. I don't think he even knows. But yeah, I believe the new one is optimized for T-Mobile's 600 megahertz spectrum, which is they call it extended LTE. It's really just LTE with better range and coverage.
So extended.
Yeah. Okay.
They extended the LTE, man.
Yeah, you're right. No, but they market it as like it's a special extended LTE, like as if it's special, but it's not. It's LTE that has whatever.
It's just
anyways,
a man on top of a telephone pole. He's like, extend.
Yes. He has to shout actually the entire time. Yeah. It's a terrible job.
Here's a good question from Sean Vega. Will Apple Watch 4 be bought by nursing homes for patients?
That's the thing. I mean, it could. That's I don't know about nursing homes, but like, if my parents, thankfully, are not at that age or that condition where this is a real risk. But like, if they get older, like, I wouldn't mind. I would consider buying one of these things and paying for the LTE connection.
I'm curious about like what the popularity of like EKG on your watch will do for like the public mindset.
Yeah.
Just there's a lot of like young people that don't need EKGs that are gonna have Apple Watches,
and they're just gonna start doing it all the time.
Yeah, and I'm wondering like, are they gonna be much more conscious of like their like health because of that? Like they don't need it at all, but like it's on their like it's there as like a constant like.
I don't know. I think with this yesterday's presentation, it seemed like Apple was trying to go after a broader base, not just like the young folks who have been willing to brace wearables, but even older folks. There's the health kick. Definitely kind of signaled that this wasn't just for the young and fit.
Just like kids using it as like a makeshift lie detector now.
Ooh. Oh. I don't know. Maybe there'll be an app for that.
It's gonna be completely inaccurate and
well,
not make any sense.
It's fine. I'm sure it'll sell well.
Can we refresh, Ricardo, what the size of the battery is on the XS, the XS Max, and the XR?
Did they give out the actual battery specs?
They usually just.
Oh, by the way, go ahead and at me, chat. I'm calling it the X.
Yeah, it's fine. XS Max. I can't say that fast too many times, even though I want to say X. But anyway, it's. I know it's basically. It's supposed to be more battery. It's supposed to be a little bit longer life than the last year's model. I believe the 10S is supposed to last like, I don't know, half an hour longer or a little bit longer, and the Max has longer battery life. I don't think they gave out battery capacity. They usually don't.
I don't recall battery capacity either, and
Yeah.
I'm scanning through our review right now. I'll put it up on screen for some other
Yeah,
specs.
it's supposed to be 1.5
1.5.
hours more.
Okay, so
than the
90
8
minutes.
Plus.
There it is, yeah. It claims 90 minutes or 30 minutes longer, depending on which
But
model
that's for
you get.
that's the 10S, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got all three lined up here.
Okay,
So
yeah.
the 10S is 30 minutes longer than the 10. The Max is 90 minutes longer than the 10, and the R is 90 minutes longer than the 8.
Okay.
Okay.
Yay.
But
So
that's a claim without a test so far, so when we
Exactly.
get the unit in.
Yeah, and also, it really depends on how you use the phone, right? If you're constantly streaming video, it's not gonna last that long.
Exactly, yeah. I just remember like they kind of glazed over it at the keynote. And
Yeah.
Just like,
Oh yeah, battery life.
batteries.
It's working
Yeah,
better.
but it is slightly longer though, which gives people more time to watch their favorite like live streams on YouTube, such as the Stream Economy.
Oh yeah.
And,
Okay, you're right.
Alphabet City.
Yes,
Um,
those are excellent shows.
yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
Bridget Breaks It Down.
there you go.
That's really all the good shows on
Yeah, that's on
YouTube
CNET
I can think of.
or on YouTube itself.
Yeah.
All of YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Srinjoy, for the people who are paying close attention, was Tim Cook's Twitter troll ever surpassed in the rest of the event? Did he set that bar too high? I remember when that came out. Our
errant tweet?
office, the errant tweet.
Yeah.
The office chat was like, "What's going on?"
It actually
He
kind
played
of
us.
it kind of worked well. But was that? I still don't know if that was
I don't think that was on purpose. I think
because it worked well with the video.
I think
No,
they,
that was a theater for the video. It was absolutely staged.
No. I think that he sent out that accidental DM. Was like, we got to cover this up now, and then they made that whole video after.
Right then and there.
Yeah.
Apple could
That's-
do it. They have
yeah.
the money.
That's probably
They're like, I don't
much
care if it
more
costs $10
likely.
million. You make that video to fix my errant tweet or make my errant tweet relevant.
It was a good cover-up video.
It was great.
So do we know what the R stands for? Sunjoy is wondering if it means rubbish or ripoff.
Ooh. I don't know. They just called it the R. Like this. Same with the iPhone 5C. There was no.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
didn't
think
the
they
C
ever.
in color?
They
Wasn't
never
it allegedly
officially.
color?
They never officially said that.
So it's up
I
to
think
us.
it ended up. Yeah, it was up to us, and I think it ended up being known more like for cheap.
Yes.
That's what
Most people just
yeah.
referred to the C as cheap.
Yeah. Which is why there's no 10C. It's a 10R. I don't know what R is gonna. Rubbish would be. That's a little bit of an overstatement.
I'm going with Rude Boy, but that's just because I've been listening to a lot of ska lately.
The iPhone 10 Rude Boy.
It sounds better than the 10 XS Max.
Oh yeah.
Give me that
iPhone
one.
10
XS
SSX
Max.
Tricky.
I can't say that 3 times fast. 10SX Max. 10S. Oh.
Well, you're being redundant because it's
Oh, you're right.
10 or
iPhone
X.
XS Max. Okay, I still can't say that right.
Either way. Phone Daft says reach for reaching more people. That's actually a good thought right there. Legitimate. We're just going to keep making bad jokes.
Sure.
Before we go, James asks, when do you think the new AirPods are going to be announced? Kind of surprised we didn't see him yesterday.
I'm surprised we didn't see him yesterday either. We're expecting an October event, so they might show up because we didn't get to see an iPad Pro. We didn't see the MacBook refreshes that have been rumored.
The new iPods either. Where are the iPod Nanos? Where are the shuffles, Tim?
The demand.
Show me the
There
iPod
hasn't been a
shuffles.
shuffle in like 5 years.
The people want to know.
I had a shuffle. They were great.
Shuffle 10S Max.
It's huge. It's like a brick. And it holds 10 songs. Yeah. So, I mean, we have the October event to look forward to. I wouldn't even be surprised if they dropped those AirPod updates into like a quiet press release announcement.
I mean, they
Especially if
glazed
it's
over
not-
they glazed over the HomePod and Mojave and just
Right.
like I did a
Yeah, but-
flyby on that. Why couldn't they have just thrown pods in there?
I don't think the Mojave stuff would have like went down anyway though. Like
That's
during
true,
this
but-
event, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
mostly
yeah.
hardware stuff. That's why they had the Watch OS like the announcements like at a completely different event.
Right.
Because there were like pretty cool stuff on the new Watch OS, but like they didn't really show that with this one. Oh, you know what we completely forgot about and no one really cared about? Home court. Home court was cool. Steve Nash was there.
Home court. Oh,
And-
was that the AR thing?
Yeah, for basketball.
Oh, good lord. Yeah, it was cool seeing Steve Nash there. It's just weird seeing him be the tallest guy on stage as opposed to the shortest guy on the court, which he usually is. But
can't wait for my iPhone to teach me how to dunk. It's gonna be great.
well, that's the $2,000 model should freaking help me
paying that
dunk.
much.
Yeah, if I'm paying that much.
All right, I'll give him that much. Some of the AR stuff was pretty cool. I did get kind of excited about the Galaga arcade.
The
I'm gonna
Galaga
give
thing
him...
looks dumb as hell to me.
Oh,
sorry.
shut up. I'll play that.
All right, but I'm just saying, like, that looks cool because you're seeing what's on the screen. But
Yeah,
like,
but let's
when
see how it actually performs.
I'm also
Yeah.
saying, like, when they pan out to just the people, they look really stupid. Like, if you can't see what's going on, it's just like three people with their phones, like, walking around a desk, and it looks really
It's
dumb.
cool if you're doing it though.
So is sitting in a chair and pushing buttons on a little rectangle in your lap.
No, you look very cool, Brian. But like, if you were doing AR buttons, like there was nothing in the room, and you're just like sitting in an empty room pretending to press buttons and stuff, it just looks really dumb.
Speak for yourself.
Sternjoy's asking one more time before we're out the door, did you notice any improvement in the front camera? I watched Scott Stein's video and the photos did look better. We're going to have him on ASAP. He's actually on a plane on his way back right now.
For the podcast.
Yeah, he's rolling in late.
Expressly for us.
So I'm sure we'll have him on and very soon to get
front-facing
impressions.
camera is supposed to be much better now. It has like 7 megapixels on it, which if you think about it, like that's better than like some of the back-facing cameras on like phones just from 3 years ago.
And it's supposed to have like a faster sensor.
Yes.
Yep.
And so it's like faster for like mostly it's like for Face ID, but like it
Yeah.
also makes it better for like taking like clearer selfies.
I'm glad they improved Face ID because it's not that great. It's not super reliable.
It's also better for like depth of field kind of stuff.
Yep.
The depth of field stuff they mostly talked about was for the back
rear camera. Yeah,
but
yeah.
like it's like the sensors on the front also improves
Also,
that.
fact check there. They claim that this is the first time it's ever been done. That's completely false. Samsung did that last year with their dual lens camera, and Lytra has been doing that for a long time. So, not the first time. So, just a bit of fact check there.
Preach, Roger. Preach. Hey, we're out of time for the day. We're out of time for the week. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Thanks for bearing with us on such a weird scheduled week. We'll be back next week where we'll talk about the philosophy and theorize whether Apple will or will not create augmented reality Crossfire, the board game. Roger, you want to take us on out of here?
Yeah, the podcast is available on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Feedburner, Google Play Music, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Alexa. Of course, it's on CNET.com. We'll see you all next week.
Take care, folks.
We're doing an AMA on Reddit about the iPhone stuff. So if you want to check us out there, not us,
Our
but
boss
like
Connie,
CNET is.
our boss Connie is going to be on. She was at the event. Definitely jump on the Reddit AMA if you have additional questions. She knows way more than we do.
We'll put a link to that in the description of the show. Thanks again. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, it just went live 7 minutes ago.
Here we go.